What is up, guys? Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a great one, and again, I hope you're staying safe out there. I know that it's crazy, and I know that some of you are probably bored inside. I know I am, so I am for sure gonna work on this thing. And in today's project, we are gonna go from this OBS power steering to a newer Super Duty style power steering on this thing. I maybe start on the gearbox as well. So let's get right to it. Okay guys, so the first thing we're gonna do is remove our serpentine belt, and you do that by prying basically on your tensioner. I have the newer upgraded tensioner, but it's the same. It should be in the same place as yours. All I'm using is this breaker bar to take tension out of it. There we go. And now we can go ahead and remove our AC. Okay guys, we've got our intercooler pipe out. We have our AC pulled off to the side. And now all we have to do is break this, well actually no, we're gonna go ahead and probably take off a few hoses off of the vacuum pump as well as the power steering. And actually go ahead and take out the bracket, which should only be a few bolts on the front end of this thing. So we're gonna go ahead, do that, and we'll be ready to throw the new one back in. Okay guys, so we have the OBS power steering pump and bracket on the table next to the Super Duty, well not really Super Duty, but to the van power steering pump and bracket on the table as well. I'm going to show you guys how they look. So this is from a van. This is from our OBS. As you can see, it's got our, I believe it's a CP2 or C2 C2 power steering pump with the reservoirs, basically the old style pump that Ford's use. And then this is the newer style, which I might be completely messing this up, but I believe these are a CP3, I think, or a C3 or something like that. But anyways, this came from, I believe, like a 99 or 2000 E350 Power Stroke van. Here's the part number. I don't know how well you'll be able to see that. I'll leave it down somewhere over here so you can actually try and find this, as well as in the description. And the reason why you want this bracket is because, as you can see, the pumps mount differently on these. On this, the pump basically mounts on the face, and on this is more of a side mount on the pump. And you want it from a Power Stroke van because they're the only ones that came with this setup, with the power steering and the with the AC compressor on the driver's side. The trucks, I believe, had the AC compressor on the passenger side and the alternator on the driver's side, so their bracket won't work. Now, another reason why you want to get it from a van is because they're the only ones that have this pulley right here, and this is the only pulley that works with our setup. They're the only ones that have the right offset and everything to be able to work with our trucks. So make sure that you get this this pulley as well. Here is a quick part number. Here's the other one. And again, I'll leave them down in the description or type them out somewhere over here. The reason why I want to go with this setup is just because it's a much better pump than our old one. I believe that the OBS pump is barely, if that, good enough for this heavy ass engine. And then once you start throwing in bigger tires, lift, all these other things, it's really not gonna work well, especially if you go hydroboost, because it's gonna add that much more stress to the pump. Now these pumps are designed to work with this heavier engine. It'll run better with bigger tires, and it was also designed to run hydroboost, which is kind of what I have right here. I was kind of experimenting with this. It's not gonna work out unfortunately. But I do want to go hydro boost. I just have to figure out how I want to do it. There's a few different ways of doing it. Like I said, this is from an actual Super Duty truck, and I just don't like the way that it was going to end up working. So there's two other options that I have that I'm going to try and go in with. I just have to find the actual parts. But yeah, now there's a few things that I'm still missing. With the newer pump, as you can see, they don't have a reservoir like these ones do built into the pump. And I also had the reservoir that came with this master cylinder and hydro boost. I basically got all this stuff. I got this, that, a whole bunch of hoses, and a whole bunch of the steering and braking stuff all bundled on eBay, and it cost me like $100. So I decided to go with it. Whatever I could use, I was gonna use. Whatever I didn't end up using, you know, it really wasn't that expensive. But anyways, I also have this other pump that I don't know if I should go with this one or that one, because that one's from the van. But if I go with this one, I'm gonna have to pull the pulley from this one and swap it from that pulley and swap it into that pump and put it in here. So I'm not 100% sure that I want to do that. So I think that for now I'm gonna go with this setup the way that it is. Later on, I'm gonna try and find a brand new power steering pump and hopefully keep looking for a brand new pulley, because this one does have a little bit of damage right there and I don't like it. It shouldn't really affect the belt. It's kind of, it got bent outwards. So like I said, it shouldn't affect the belt. That should be fine. But I am gonna still be looking for that pulley. Now if anybody has one of these pulleys, you know, let me know, because like I said, I do want a new one. Now, like I got completely off track. I do need another reservoir because I got that one which didn't fit on the truck. It's way too big. I was hoping that I could find a spot somewhere that I could mount it, but it's just way too big and it won't work anywhere. So I got the same pump that would go with this setup with one of those vans, but that won't be in here until like Friday, hopefully until Friday. So we're gonna go ahead, throw this in the truck. Once we get the new reservoir, it's also gonna come with the cooler. Once we get all that stuff, we'll get it mounted in the truck, and most of our power steering will be done. So I think that was enough talking. I'm gonna go ahead and get all this stuff thrown into the truck, and I'll check back in with you guys once it's all installed. Okay guys, we got the new bracket in place, and it looks really good. So as you can see, it looks pretty much just like the OBS bracket that we took off. Everything lines up pretty good. The AC compressor, I'm gonna leave it out until I have the reservoir, because I think this is gonna give me a little bit more space to work and get all my hoses hooked up. Then once we have the hoses hooked up, the cooler, I think I'm gonna try and mount on this cross member right there, where the old kind of cooler, if you can call it, like these lines. I think I'm gonna try and throw it in there and see if I can get that to work. And like I said, once we have all the lines hooked up to my pump, we'll throw the compressor back on and call it a day. We'll also be, on that same day, we'll probably throw on the gearbox in place, and hopefully at that point we'll have all of our power steering done. Hopefully I'll have the right hoses for it. I really don't want to have to go and get new hoses made. That's why I have all this mess of hoses. And like I said, hopefully within all those hoses, I'll have something that will be able to make work with this truck. As well, like I said, for now, I'm gonna be keeping the vacuum boost, the booster, the way it is. So I'm gonna have to just figure out the way the hoses are gonna have to go. It shouldn't be a big deal. But once we do go back to hydro boost, I am gonna have to go back and reroute a whole bunch of the hoses. And by the way, if you're new to the channel and this is your first video, this is all part of an 05 Plus axle swap. So we have our axles. Obviously we don't have the OBS axles under there. And this is all stuff that's gonna make these axles work that much better under a truck. It should give us better turning radius. It should give us better steering feel. And it should be just a better package overall. I'm super excited for it. And before I go, I want to give a huge shout out to two people. One, my dad. The other day he spent about 2 hours cleaning this frame, and he left it looking amazing. We already threw some paint over it, and it looks great. Like I said, he spent at least an hour or two, you know, cleaning all of this, making sure it was all nice and smooth. And last night we sprayed it and it turned out perfect. It turned out great. I'm super happy about it too. And I also want to give a shout out to, and I'm sorry if I butcher your name. Logan Bechdel, I believe that's his name, and that's also his channel name. I'll leave it down below. This guy has an awesome axle swap too into an 80s F250. That thing is sick. He has like a huge lift on it, huge wheels, and his swap is almost done. And he just started his YouTube channel too. So if you guys want to see another swap that is way more badass than mine, by the way, he's also going to be swapping that truck, so it's going to be a badass build. I'm going to leave a link to that channel down below. Go check it out. Let him know that I sent you. Again, I really think that you guys are going to enjoy his build, probably even more than mine, because that thing is going to be sick. Anyways, thanks for watching. Check out the rest of the build over here, some of the other videos that I have on my channel. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, leave any comments down below, and we'll see you for the next one.